So those are your themes and your teams. We should have Drew, Ryan, and Desan on Team Black, and Blues, Heather, and Rhea on Team Sunshine.
Very, very, very excited with my team. I got Desan New, Drew Drake, and Ryan Andrews.
So let's just everybody introduce themselves and what your topic was that you had chose.
My topic is love and falling in love. Where you're playing with me,
Ryan, what's your thoughts on that so far? Like, what are your thoughts around that
my
topic?
Thoughts are struggling like a mother. Yeah, Rhea's always challenging me. I don't know.
Well, what out of everything that of the topics that were picked, why did you choose that one over everything else?
Well, because I was asked. I think what would be that was one of the topics that I had chose would be one of the harder topics to write about for me. But also as a woman, I do have a more tender side, and I feel like it's something that I need to embrace and be comfortable expressing,
Right.
So we just got struggles.
All right, cool. All right, so next up, let's talk to my boy Desan. What's going on, brother? We ain't heard from you yet.
So yeah, I have dreamers was the theme and topic that I'm working with. So
glad you picked that one.
So yeah, man. So it was just I thought it would give me a lot of room to work, and so yeah, that I just figured that would give me a lot of room to work, and then seeing what everybody else was going to do, I'd have a lot to play with.
Nice. All right, brother Drew.
Yeah, so my name's Drew, and my topic is toxic masculinity. It was actually one that it's not that it's a hard challenge for me. I feel like there's so much in it to dive into. There's many different areas to explore this, right? And so I think especially coming off the heels of last night, I did hosted an erotic writing workshop for Fifth Woman, and really just exploring how even in erotic poetry, at times it feels very toxic, especially it's not liberating for everybody, and thinking about really. I think there's so many things that are not lynched, but lined up in that. I think you have patriarchy, misogyny of making erotic feel like it's only one people, a certain person is allowed to pleasure and not everybody. And so I feel like just toxic masculinity as a whole is such a big umbrella of different things to explore. So I was just interested of kind of shooting darts and seeing where we can shoot from the hip from. So.
Okay. That's dope.
Yo, this is Rhea, and I just wanted to pop in and talk about Team Sunshine. Team Sunshine, this first month is Blues, Heather, and Rhea. So, how's it been going writing on your theme?
Earlier this week, because I was thinking about to Rhea and Blue, some really hard topics, but so I thought about, what if I write about the fantasy that trauma doesn't exist and the fantasy that death doesn't exist?
If death and trauma don't exist in this fantasy world, then what does that world look like?
Mm-hmm.
And then it could be just a series of questions. You know, does Hitler ever die? Does Malcolm X get shot in the Audubon ballroom? You know, do children really grow up in a utopian world? You know, or you know, what do all those things look like? It'll be a tough piece. I mean, just on us alone. But I think it'll spark enough conversation for folks to really think about that.
And that was just the first thought. I mean, I'm absolutely kind of feel like I've got the piece where I can work around the both of you. So whatever you want to write about, I can kind of fill in. I mean, I've got a pretty wide remit, really, in that respect.
I wrote a haiku as one of the little pieces that I was talking about with to add in musicality with all the organized sound. Mm-hmm. And the haiku is woke to wine and war. I go, hold on, let me pull it up.
Woke to wine and war.
Yeah, so it says, woke to wine and war. I go numb, drinking the blues. Song of sabotage. Wow. So it's woke to wine and war. I go numb, drinking the blues. Song of sabotage. Woke to wine and war. I go blind. I go numb, drinking the blues. Song of sabotage. And you know, of course, I ain't warmed up with blues. I know that you can sing too, and that you've been doing voiceovers. And you know, that was just like something I was playing around when I was thinking about all these like trauma and stuff like that. To me,
what was that last line again?
Song of sabotage. So it's woke to wine and war. I go numb, drinking the blues. Song of sabotage.
For me, my process in writing is just, I do a lot of thinking about it first, like a whole lot of thinking about it, and then, I don't know, process it. That's how I process things, because I don't take time to like self-reflect. If it wasn't for poetry, I probably would never self-reflect. Yeah.
Sometimes what I do when I'm trying to think through an idea and a concept, and you know, I got this topic of dreamers, and our first task was to each in our team to write a little bit and then come back together and share what we wrote, and then start to think about how we want to blend everything together. And I don't know, I got a crazy idea. It was like I started thinking about Jay-Z and Foxy Brown, Ain't No. And I was like, I wonder if I could flip the concept to talk about dreamers, but then to see if I can do each verse to refer to each one of our topics.
But I wanted to check in about the process, right? For me, I need a little break. Been focused on a lot of other things right now, and just with all the things that are happening right now, I'm finding a lot of inspiration out in wilderness, out in the trees, out in space, out in these trails. Thinking about and the idea of toxic masculinity, how this is everywhere, how it's around you all the time. And so I'm trying to immerse myself in all these spaces that you can see that can allow me to draw some inspiration.
I have been stuck into work and then my PhD work after that. But it's just exhausting. We had a good meeting about our project. It's always extraordinary for me to learn from Rhea and Rhea and Blues. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. So we have an idea of what we want to do. It's tough. It's a tough series of subjects. One of the things that I'm working on is humor, and to me, I'm really funny, but I'm not funny to other people.
All right. So y'all seeing in real time how we get busy. Okay, with my headphones. So I went out there and I shared it with my wife, Chanel, my best friend, and she's classically trained with music too, so she let me know what it is. And she was like, every time that I've sung this song, it has not been this slow. So my whole thing of trying to make it R&B, maybe I shouldn't do it that way. Maybe I should start off with just singing at the tempo that I would like and then create a beat around that. So now I'm finna try this out.
The work is being done. Like, again, I started drafting a little bit of what I think is going to really work and kind of intersect and integrate with what Heather and Enrica have written.
So, here's what I wondered. Does anybody else have the home office blues? Because for real, I am officially over being at the crib. And I'm an introvert. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have some social anxieties. I'm an introvert. I live a public life, but personally and socially, I am an introvert. And I am over being at the crib.
Yeah. So this is the first time my mama coming to our apartment, and Tamika came the first day when we were moving in to help us move in, her and Jenny. But my mom is coming today. We're about to have like a family day. We're doing a mukbang, talking about trauma and how we heal from trauma. And me and my niece are going to do an acrylic art tour.
So I did not do well in the slam. The poem was fire. I did it flawlessly. Judges didn't like it. And something in my brain says judges don't like when black men do poems about their kids. Is that true? Probably not. But history would say that it is. I don't know. So anyway, yeah. So that's my diary entry.
I just had like a lot of like overwhelming realizations just a minute ago. And it's just heavy. Like, it's hard being a single mom. It's hard in quarantine. It's hard trying to get ahead. It's hard processing the state of the world. It's hard to stay focused. It's hard to stay focused and be in everything, like, and be everywhere, because women have to be everywhere we do. We're superhuman.
Hi everybody, I'm sneaking on during work. I seem to be doing a lot of sneaking lately. I have to be honest, I have done a lot of writing this week, but so much of it has been for my PhD and for work that I haven't had tremendous amount of time to think about What else I should be writing?
I'm a teacher, and so in working with students, a question that I ask them often is, what are the questions that we're dealing with and we're thinking about? There's so many things that are impacting us in these last semester, in these last few months with quarantine, curfew. We had numerous lives lost from state violence. Black lives are lost, and so a lot of students had questions, and so this piece was created about how do we use our questions to create art. And facilitate dialogue. So this piece is called Searching My Rage. I hope you enjoy it. Today, I let my rage be beautiful. I felt no need to dress it up. Did not care how it looked or what ground it shook. I let it be. And it was beautiful.